You're warming up? I get it, Dan. I could do the same thing every morning when I wake up, so. All right, good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to the Monday, October 13th, 2025, Richland Township Board of Supervisors business meeting agenda. I'm going to ask you to stand up for a brief prayer, and then we're going to do Pledge of Allegiance to the flag.
Father, we thank you for the opportunity for us to meet tonight. We come to you asking for your guidance, your wisdom, and support as we make decisions that will affect the residents of our township. Help us to engage in thoughtful discussion, give us discernment, and allow us to grow closer as a group to nurture the bonds of our community. We pray for your hand of protection over our police, volunteer firefighters, and their families. We also ask that you protect our schools in our district. We thank you for our township staff and our volunteers, and we ask your blessing over them and their families and over all who live in Richland Township. Cover us with your grace. Remind us that all that we do here tonight, all that we accomplish is for the service of our residents. And we ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. We have the pleasure of having Assistant Township Manager / Zoning Officer, Richland Township, Rich Brittingham, in attendance tonight. So what I'm going to do, Rich, can you please take the roll call?
Sure. Tim Arnold.
Present.
Chris Vanelli.
Here.
Kathy Doyle.
Here.
To the audience's far left, we have from Gilmore and Associates, Bianca Nitica, followed by our Police Chief of Richland Township, Rich Fico, Link Treadwell, our Township Solicitor, Vicki Schuler, our Administrative Assistant, and I'm here this evening as Rich Brittingham, Assistant Township Manager and Zoning Officer.
All right. Thank you, sir. Okay, first agenda item is going to be ordinance number 307, which is going to be a public hearing in consideration of adoption amendment to zoning chapter 27. So at this point, I'm going to ask for a motion to open up the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, this ordinance, let me see here. You know what, Link, you want to run with this one?
Sure. So this proposed ordinance, as you stated, is ordinance number 307. It proposes to revise two different sections of the Richland Township zoning ordinance. The first section is 27-4026. The second section is 27-602. The revision to 27-4026 would authorize the zoning officer to render administrative decision regarding undefined uses. So in situations, we have situations that occur fairly frequently where somebody comes in with a use that is not specifically defined in our zoning ordinance. The previous section would automatically send them to the zoning hearing board. So they had to go to the zoning hearing board, they had to pay the application fee, they had to go appear in front of the zoning hearing board. We took a look at that and we decided that was too much government, and that Rich Brittingham, as the zoning officer or any future zoning officer, after consultation with the engineer, the manager, and the solicitor, would be able to decide if that use is similar to a use that we do allow and decide where it's permitted and where it isn't. So that's the first proposed change. The second change would be to 27-602. That section requires that any use in the arterial corridor, which is basically the Route 309 area, needs conditional use approval, whether it's permitted or not, because it is in the arterial corridor. So what was happening was people would come in for a reuse. There's a building that was already occupied. It's now proposed to be changed to something else. So say it was boat sales and now it's going to truck sales, right? That section would require them to get a new conditional use approval, even though it was the same basic use. So what's proposed in the revision to 602 is to allow you, the Board of Supervisors, allow the applicant to come before the Board of Supervisors, explain what the use is, and if there's no significant increase in traffic, then you can say, okay, you're good without requiring another conditional use. So Those are the two proposed changes. It's been reviewed by your own Planning Commission, recommended for approval. It's been reviewed by Bucks County Planning Commission, QAPC, been advertised for the public hearing and adoption. So the next step would be, anybody on the board have any questions? If not, we can take public comment and questions.
So let me start out by asking for 602, when it comes before us, will we have a recommendation from the staff?
Yeah, when it comes before you, we will have reviewed it like we do at staff. We have a staff meeting basically once a month, and we would review it before it gets to you. And we would also have told the applicant to submit the information to show that the traffic is the same.
Okay. Chris or Kathy?
Chris? No question. Okay, I just have out of curiosity, for 402, approximately how many times a year are you faced with a situation where the use isn't clear and it has to go to the zoning hearing board? I'm just asking out of curiosity.
It's not often. Last one I can remember was Elite out there at 309 and West Cherry. They're a AAA service, so they have a fleet that goes off-site. They go out and do the repairs, but they're not actually doing repairs to the public.
Gotcha.
They're doing repairs to their own fleet in the garage. So it was a use that wasn't clearly defined. It's not like a automotive repair. It wasn't a junkyard. They're not bringing vehicle back to store. So that was an example that they had to go to the zoning hearing board because it wasn't clearly defined.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, no further questions. I'm going to open up the public comment on this particular agenda item. Is there any public comment on this agenda item? Okay, can I have a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
I will second
All
that.
right, Chris made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve it, please?
Might as well go and make the motion to approve ordinance number 307.
I will second that motion.
Thank you. Chris made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All righty. Moving on. Richard and Arlene Beringer / Keith DeWitt Senior, Agricultural Security Area. This is a public hearing in consideration of adoption resolution number 2025-13. And I'm going to defer this to you, Rich. Okay, thank you.
Let's start with the motion to open.
I'm sorry.
I
ahead.
will make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second.
All right, Kathy made the motion, Chris seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Now, Rich, I'm going to go to you.
Thank you very much. Up on the screen, there's two parcels at the top of this area at 1845 California Road. I just want to give you a brief history of the ag security and where we're at with this petition. So again, this is for Richard and Arlene Barringer, Keith DeWitt Senior. It's an agriculture security area petition. This all started back on May 23rd, 2025, when we received the agricultural security petition. The two affected parcels are 36-009-169, consisting of 25.849 acres. And the second parcel is 36-009-169-001, which is a 2.21 acre parcel. Totaling the two parcels together, it's just above 20 acres, or 28 acres, 28.67 acres. I just want to give a brief history. The Agricultural Security Area Program was established in 1981. The agricultural security areas promote more permanent and viable farming operations over the long term by strengthening the farm's community sense of security and land use and the right to farm. The participation in the ASA from landowners is voluntary. There are certain criteria for participation. 10 acres or more in size, which this parcel combined does meet that. There's also at least 50% of the land suitable Class 1 through 4 soils. Third, viable agricultural land, and 4, zoning to permit agricultural uses. There are some benefits, though not in this case. It can be a prerequisite for eligibility in the county farmland preservation. Another benefit is any municipal law or ordinance which defines or prohibits a public nuisance must exclude any agricultural activity or operation that uses normal farming practices within an ASA. Just so that you're aware, we first instituted the Ag Security District back in October 13th of 2008. And at that time, the requirement was to have 250 acres. We had 26 parcels, landowners, that totaled 516 acres. So that's when we first adopted and got into the Richland Township Agricultural Security Area District. And since that time, there's been updates. So I do want to just go through a couple items. At your board meeting on June 9th, you had acknowledged receipt of this petition. We then, on June 24th, 2025, advertised the petition to allow for a 15-day time period for any objections. That expired July 8th. However, we received 2 objectors within that 15-day time period of when we had that advertised. The requirement then is once that 15-day time period expires, we then forward to the Bucks County Planning Commission, the Richland Township Planning Commission, and then the Agricultural Security Area Committee of Richland Township. Those agencies then have the duty to review it and then offer a recommendation. What I can tell you is the BCPC reviewed it August 6th, the Richland Township Planning Commission reviewed it August 19th, and the Ag Security Committee of Richland Township reviewed it on August 20th. All 3 of those bodies that had the opportunity to review have recommended that the Board of Supervisors add these 2 parcels that are before you this evening into the existing Richland Township Agricultural Security Area District. If this is approved this evening, that will bring us to 63 parcels and just over 1,500 acres in our overall Ag Security District.
Okay, very well, very good, very good. I have no comments or questions. Chris? Nope. Kathy?
I have none.
Okay. All right, I'm going to open up the public comment on this particular agenda item. Any public comment on this agenda item? Come on up if you do.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Meredith.
My name's Meredith Alinich. I'll sign in over here.
Thank you, Meredith.
Meredith, can you spell your name for the court reporter, please?
Meredith is Meredith, and Alinich is Elinich.
Thank you.
Did the Board of Supervisors and the Township Manager get to review the letter I submitted today?
Yes.
Okay. That was a hard letter to write. I'm quite disappointed if this gets approved, but I also know that it is pitting neighbor against neighbor. I don't like that. I just wanted to say that out loud.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Meredith.
Meredith, I'd also like to thank you for your mannerisms. I think you've come to every meeting. You've been very professional, very polite, and even with the applicants, I've seen you've had conversation with them. So we do appreciate that as a board.
Well, we need to work that out. I don't think this should have ever been allowed. But at this point, he's going to go out of business because he wasn't, if you denied him the permit, he was going to go out of business. If we take him to court for litigation, it could put him out of business.
Right.
I wish this would have been handled in the beginning.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, any other public comment on this? Okay, someone give me a motion to close this hearing?
I'll make the motion to close the hearing.
I'll second it.
All right, Chris made the motion, Kathy seconded it. Okay, looking to recommended action, motion. I'm sorry? That's what I'm getting to.
On the closing the,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
You pulled a Kathy Doyle.
Yeah. All right, so do we have a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make the motion to approve Resolution 2025-13.
I'll second it.
All right, thank you, Kathy made the motion, Chris seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, another public hearing. So Richland Township Municipal Separate Stormwater Sewer System MS4 Pollution Reduction Act, PRP Plan. We're going to have a public hearing about that. So I'm going to have somebody give us a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second.
Thank you. Kathy made the motion, Chris seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, I'm going to start out with this. The Richland Township Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System, which is also known as MS4 Pollution Reduction Plan, PRP, for the Tehican Creek, Morgan Creek, which are tributaries to Lake Nakamixon, Beaver Run, and an unnamed tributary to the Unami Creek, has been revised by Gilmore and Associates. The MS4 PRP outlines the plan used to reduce pollutants discharged from Richland Township, MS4, in accordance with permit requirements. The PRP has been revised due to the fact that the Tehican Creek Stream Restoration, BMT, was completed upstream from the originally proposed location proposed in the PRP. The township is now soliciting written comments on a revision until December 12th of this year. Bianca, to my far right, is from Gilmore and Associates. They are assisting the township with this MS4 plan. Bianca, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
No additional comment unless there's any questions.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Chris, you have any?
I do not.
Kathy?
I do not.
All right, I'm going to open up the public comments. MS4, exciting stuff, folks. Okay,
These are starting to get pictures, which are really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, can I have a motion to close this public hearing?
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing.
And I will second that.
Thank you. Chris made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, do we have a motion to approve it?
I'll make the motion to approve the revised MS4 pollution reduction plan.
I will second that.
Thank you. Chris made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right. Next, we have public comment on any agenda item. If there's any agenda item that's on the agenda now, you have any public comments? Okay. Let's go to, there's no zoning hearing board applications. There's no developer matters, township business new. Did everybody have the opportunity to take a look at the minutes?
I have, and I'm prepared to make a motion to approve the September 8th, 2025 Board of Supervisors meeting minutes.
I'll second.
All right, thank you. Kathy made the motion, Chris seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, everybody wants to pay the bills?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve payment of the September 2025 bills.
And I will second that.
All right, thank you. Chris made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. Okay, approval of resolution 2025-12, which is a traffic signal maintenance agreement with PennDOT. Link.
Okay, so PennDOT sent us a traffic signal maintenance agreement. The way it works with PennDOT is the township and all municipalities in Pennsylvania are required to maintain the traffic signals that are located within the township, right? Even though it's a PennDOT road, it's still the township's responsibility to maintain the signals. The way it used to work was as each signal would get approved to be installed or, you know, the timing of it would be revised, we would send a notification to PennDOT that this is what's going on. When PennDOT approved it, we would then agree to maintain that individual signal. PennDOT has now changed their process so that there is one agreement that covers all the signals located in the township. So that when one comes in the future, if there's a new signal proposed somewhere, or if there's a signal that's proposed to be modified somewhere, we don't have to do it each time. So this one agreement basically says we agree to maintain all the signals that are located in Richland Township. It's just a change in how they process it. Instead of one by one, there's now one agreement that covers everything. And that's what the proposal is.
Chris, you have any questions?
I do not.
Kathy?
No questions. I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea also. Okay. Someone want to run with this one?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-12 and authorize the township manager to execute the agreement with PennDOT.
I will second that.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All right, next on the agenda is to authorize the depository update information with Keystone Collection Agency. Previously, a portion of taxes collected by the Keystone Collection Group was deposited in the Pliget Police Fund. Since that account is no longer being utilized, those funds have been incorporated into the general fund. However, we are informed that they would like to have us take formal action on it, and we're here tonight to do so. Would somebody like to make a motion on that?
I'll make a motion to authorize all taxes collected by Keystone Collection on behalf of Richland Township to be deposited into Richland Township's Pliget General Fund.
I'll second.
All right, good. Kathy made the motion, Chris seconded. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 All right. Looks like MRP East Park 309 is looking for escrow release number 1.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve a release of funds in the amount of $353,999.74 for improvements completed to date, subject to any outstanding invoice owed to the township being paid in full.
I'll second.
Okay, Kathy made the motion, Chris seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay, ordinance number 309. This is going to be interesting. This is review and proposed ordinance and authorization to advertise regarding the sales of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to defer this to Link, but I want to let the audience know that this was brought to us by Quakertown Borough Police Department, saying they were doing the same thing, and with a lot more of these vape shops coming in, and the stuff they were selling in these vape shops was very questionable. So Quakertown adopted this ordinance and met with us and with staff and said something that we should consider. Staff spent a lot of time looking at this ordinance and came back, and we asked Link to take a look at it also and bring his input, in which we have tonight. So Link, you want to add to what I said?
Yeah, just briefly, it would create a Part 4 of your Code of Ordinance, of Chapter 10 of your Code of Ordinances, that in the ordinance as proposed basically prohibits the sale, possession with intent to sell, delivery, and/or possession of any drug paraphernalia within Richland Township. As Mr. Arnold said, very similar to what Quakertown has done in the borough. There is a second part to this ordinance that limits the establishment of any new tobacco or smoke shop to nothing can be built less than 1,000 feet from any school, playground, or other similar facility where children are invited to attend. It does not apply to existing smoke or tobacco shops. So if there's one already there, it's already there. But any new one would have to be at least 1,000 feet away from those types of places, as well as any other tobacco or smoke shop. So this is proposed. It's in front of you guys tonight to authorize advertisement. If you authorize advertisement, we'll bring it back for a public hearing and go through the process that we just went through with the other ordinances.
Chief, you asked 2 of your detectives to go into some of these local vape shops. Would you like to elaborate on what they discovered?
Yes, so there's some glassware that has been found that's commonly used for smoking various types of drugs. Also some, there's a product out there that's synthetic marijuana some of it is, I believe, considered illegal if it's a certain amount of THC. But some of the things that we have found was actually above that legal limit, as well as there's the potential for just other illicit narcotics to be sold out of those types of businesses.
So although there is state regulations out there very similar to this, what word do we say? Belts and suspenders, Link?
Yeah, I mean, there is a state law that prohibits this as well. However, it's a little bit more involved in terms of the prosecution. I think this makes it a little bit easier for our police department to prosecute.
So I guess that was the question I had. So existing shops, if they don't fall within the distance, are basically grandfathered. But compliance with the other parts of?
Yeah, you still can't sell stuff that you're not supposed to sell.
Okay.
Right? The location is grandfathered,
That's
but
it.
the sale, you can't sell stuff that you're not supposed to sell.
Okay.
All right, so
And just again, a question that I have. So this, we go for it, say it gets adopted, and who will be enforcing that? Our police department?
Our police department, yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
We've also had the offer of other local police departments who, to have some of their officers help us in the investigation of it by going undercover, just in case somebody's business may already know our officers. So
So once we, say we adopt this, will they be notified?
I was going to ask, do they have a grace period to comply and all that?
Right.
Well, they're not supposed to be doing it now.
Understood.
yeah.
So,
Just wanted to check.
However, what I'd recommend we do is have the chief get a copy of the ordinance and have somebody from his department stop by each, these
Yep.
businesses and make them aware. And saying,
Absolutely.
we will be back. We will be back.
Cleanup,
So,
okay.
all righty.
Yeah, this is good. And I wanted to point out, I know that, Quakertown Borough has had an interest in this, and I want to point out that some of our school board members have also had an interest in this. So, and I've had conversations with them and wanted to know where the timeline was because they were anxious to get for us to get something on the books, so.
Yeah, we wanted to go, it did take a little longer than we wanted, but we wanted to make sure what we were doing was going to be enforceable.
Right,
That was the big
exactly.
issue.
Uh-huh,
So,
that makes sense.
okay, does anybody want to run with this?
I'll make the motion to authorize advertisement of ordinance number 309 for a public hearing.
I will second that.
All right, Chris made the motion, Kathy seconded it. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, good job. All righty, operations and maintenance holding tank agreement. Looks like the owner at 1339 Richland Town Pike has requested approval to install a sanitary sewer holding tank at that location, at the property. If we would approve the installation, the owner will need approval from Bucks County Department of Health. Do you have any questions about this? Link, do you want to elaborate on this at all?
no, it's similar to one that we did maybe a meeting or two ago. Oftentimes, we get like small residential parcels that have an existing house on them, and their septic system fails, and there's no room to build a new one. So that's what this
Okay.
is about.
And what is the escrow link that we establish, and what's the purpose of the escrows?
It's a $2,500 escrow that anybody who's approved to install a holding tank posts with the township to make sure if something goes wrong, we have money to clean it up.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? If not, can I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to direct the township solicitor to prepare the operation and maintenance holding tank agreement to serve the existing dwelling located at 1339 Richland Town Pike.
And I'll second.
All right, Kathy made the motion, Chris seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, ordinance number 310, establishing local limits for discharging into Quakertown's wastewater treatment plant. Simple, Quakertown wastewater treatment plant has updated their MGL discharge limits for certain types of environmental harmful substance. Because of that, the township would like us to amend our ordinance to coincide with their limits for the sanitary sewer that discharges into their sewer treatment plant. We sent, they gave us a copy of what they were looking for. We sent them a copy of the ordinance as written. They were happy with what they seen.
Tim, just similar to some questions on one of our earlier topics, how does this get broadcast, notified that the rules have changed and you can only discharge certain things?
For this, that particularly would probably come from either Bucks County Water and Sewer or Quakertown Treatment Plant.
Or Quakertown, yeah. I mean, the change is in the, what did you say it was, MGLs, right?
MGLs.
And it's in the zinc and the cyanide, so it's not a huge change. I mean, it's just every once in a while, the federal government as well as the state government update their limits on where you can only discharge X amount of this into this. It's the same thing, so.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can I have a motion for this, please?
Yeah, sure. As long as there's no other questions, I'll make a motion to authorize advertisement of ordinance number 310, establishing local limits of discharge into the Quakertown wastewater treatment plant.
I'll second that.
All right, Chris made the motion, Kathy seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Township Business Old. We have no board and staff appointments. Now we're going to go to board and staff reports. Chris, you have anything?
I have no report tonight, thank you.
All right, Kathy?
I have two things I'm going to, before Leslie went out, I met with her, and she provided me with an update on the crossroad, the crosswalk at Richland Town Elementary, because I have a personal interest, because I have two young individuals that are near and dear to my heart that actually would walk in that area. So they have met with staff and to identify, what needs to be done. Of course, that area is not ADA compliant. If we were to do this, we need to bring it up to, code. It's something that it's not in our budget, it's not in our schedule. But that's just a minor obstacle. I don't see any obstacles that would prevent it from happening. It's not something that is going to happen immediately because we have budgetary and scheduling. And I believe it touches Quakertown Borough. I don't know if we need to communicate with them, if we just can go ahead and, pull up the concrete on their side of the street in order to make it ADA compliant. So we may have to have some sort of cooperation with them. But it's moving along.
And I would assume, out of common sense, we wouldn't want to do it during school year where there's kids going to be walking while we're doing construction, so we could try and do it in
Exactly.
off-season.
And then we're going to run into the winter months too, which is not good for concrete or
Yeah.
paint.
I have a question about that.
Yeah.
If you're ready for it.
I'm done.
Link, if the sidewalks are not our sidewalks, do we need the permission? Because who owns, does the school district own the sidewalks closer to the elementary school?
It depends on whether the sidewalk is in our right-of-way or not.
Okay,
So we need to look at whether the sidewalk is in the township road right-of-way or whether the sidewalk is on private property,
okay.
on both sides of the street. And we also have to have Gilmore look at designing it as well, because if
Right.
we're going to do make it ADA compliant, which we should,
Yep.
then they need to design it so that when someone goes out there to construct it, it's done correctly.
Yeah, and I agree with Kathy. I mean, I'm not sitting there looking to kick the can down the road here. I think it'd be nice to get it done, but this time of the year is not good when the kids are still in school. But we want to make sure we're doing something that we're allowed to do. Doing work on somebody else's property. I think probably when it gets to that point, if we find out that it is in our right of way, however, the school district does maintain those sidewalks, I think township manager, somebody should reach out to the school district and make them aware of what plans we're looking to do. At least formally have it on the record.
Exactly. Okay.
So I do agree. I think it's a good idea and I do support it.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I had the opportunity, I missed the presentation at last month's meeting about it, but I would have to be able to go back and look at it online, so.
So that's the first thing. Okay, second thing is bus patrol. So I figured that would be a topic of public interest. So there's been an update. I know there was something that was reported out at the school district meeting, and as of today, Richland Township Police Department is they have resumed their participation into the program. This is an excellent program. When Chief brought it to us, I don't know, back in the day, we thought this was a good thing for them to participate in. They have the autonomy to enter into these programs, and unless it touches monetary in the budget, they don't necessarily need our approval. If there is problems and challenges that they face, they're up to their discretion on how that's managed. This program I really got, I'd say probably in the last month, got a lot of education on it. My understanding is when it was initiated, and I think Chris Spears, and he's in the audience tonight, he was the one, it's his baby, and he spearheaded this.
Does that play with words? Chris Spear spearheaded it?
Chris Spear, did I say, I didn't put the S on it, did I? All right, this is his baby, and I think this was something that was welcomed within the community and something that's needed. My understanding is when this was initiated, there's challenges, and there's challenges with any program that you're going to implement, and I think the state police had some maybe obstacles. They didn't jump on board immediately. The obstacles were removed. They whatever they needed to do to work it out, and they were back on board. I understand the company itself went through some changes that created challenges, and they've worked those out. They have challenges with also PennDOT. There's challenges with other police departments. Now, these challenges aren't necessarily what I would call issues.
They're challenges or obstacles that could possibly be fixable. So knowing that we still do have maybe some, I'll call it a hiccup that needs to be resolved, we can proceed with participating in the program, and our administration will work with the school district admins to hopefully come up with a solution to resolve whatever things that, may be obstacles for Richland Township. But we're good to go. All right?
Good, thank you. All right, I have no public comments either, so let's go to Rich Brittingham. Do you have anything you want to add?
I do not.
Okay. Bianca, once again, thanks for sliding in tonight. We appreciate it.
No problem. No report
You
tonight.
did a great job.
Thanks.
And she talks more than Mike.
I know, we don't let Mike
We
talk
like
at all.
that.
Yeah.
Doesn't talk more about
It's a good thing.
I'm surprised your microphone even works. Thank you, though, for coming tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Link, do you have anything?
No,
Okay,
I
good.
think I talked enough.
All right, good. Chief?
Yes, drug take-back event is coming up on the 25th of October at the police station from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And as always, we still have the drug take-back box in our lobby, so that's available during business hours as well. And then on November 1st is our shred event, also at the police department, from 10 to 12. That's all.
Rich, what was going on at the station on Saturday?
Oh, we had, it's actually, so the whole weekend it was Faith in Blue, which is a program that was developed by Dr. Hutchinson, a pastor, I believe he's from the Chicago area, that kind of coincided with the unrest during the George Floyd era, and he was trying to get communities of faith and the police departments together to try and solve any type of issues that they could, having a connection. And it's actually been a great program. We've connected with two of our churches in our community. On Saturday, we had an open house at the police department, which is open to general public. It's not just faith-based related, but that's what we did. We basically did an open house for people to show up at the police department, talk to police officers in an informal way. And then on Sunday, about half the department attended two different churches for services, and then fabulous lunches afterwards.
You guys always get the good food, I'm telling you.
That's awesome.
Rich, one last thing. How are the new hires doing?
Doing great. I'm hearing very positive things about their ability to pick things up. But both of them have a little bit of experience, so I think that kind of lends to that. And we may actually, at this point, we're anticipating having them released maybe a month or two earlier than normal.
Wow, okay.
Good, yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry, Rich, what was the shred event hours? 10?
10 to 2. I'm sorry, 10 to 12.
12.
I'm sorry, 2 hours.
Want to make sure. Thank you.
Thank you, Rich. Well done. Okay, folks sat through a lot of hearings tonight. Sorry, they're not the most exciting things to sit through, so I'm going to open public comment to anybody out in the audience at this point. Do we have any public comment?
David O'Donnell.
Hey, David.
You might know. I got to sign my name.
Yeah, you still have to sign your name.
Yep.
We say if it's not in writing, it didn't happen, so if you didn't sign it, you weren't here.
So, thank you for your comments on the bus patrol.
Hmm?
I'm glad that we're reinstating something that keeps our kids safe. I was told that we were looking at some potential geofencing options to limit the volume of citations that are being reviewed, as a large section of the citations occur on the 309 corridor, which is in some areas divided, but in others not. And that generates a lot of tickets because people pass buses illegally there regularly. Most of the citations actually come from that 309 corridor. The purpose of the citations is to teach people a very expensive lesson to not pass buses when you're not allowed to pass buses. And while it's unfortunate that many licensed drivers out there don't realize what the rules of the road are, that's a lesson I think they need to learn, because the likelihood of them doing it again is much lower and is going to keep our kids safe. So I would say thank you for restarting and following those citations. It is my hope that we are not going to decide when and where we're going to enforce the law, but we would enforce it across the board.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oops, sorry, I took over your seat.
Good evening. Todd Hiphoff, resident and school board president. So thank you for restarting the bus patrol and looking into all of the potential citations that come to you from the bus patrol company. I'm sure we can work something out as we go forward with potentially what David said, and just see where it goes. I think safety is number one in all of our hearts. And then I always tell Dr. Freeman, I said, if we can't keep our kids safe, education means nothing, right? So that's number one on our list. I came here tonight just to hear what happened with bus patrol and didn't even realize, my fault, that what you guys were doing with the smoke shops.
Oh.
And we have talked about that multiple times in the district, in executive sessions and things of that, of that nature. There is a serious problem out there with vapes on the streets, parents with kids.
That's what I hear.
We see a lot of it, or a fair amount of it in the district, and we try to combat it all the time. So this is a battle, an uphill battle that we all need to, get together and try to figure out, and that's a heck of a first step. So thank you very much for that as well.
Welcome.
Appreciate it.
Okay, any other public comment?
All right, good evening. Rebecca Marola, Richland Township resident. Let me write my name. I can't do two things at once. So a couple things. One, I do want to thank you for moving forward on the crosswalk project. I did actually see them the other day out looking at it, and I was
Good.
very excited, and I waved and yelled out the window. So that was very exciting. I understand that timing is important, but I think as you will learn more about it, that is where most of the kids cross, even though there is no crosswalk there. Additionally, I did want to come talk about the bus patrol program. I'm very glad to hear that you guys are back on it. However, I do share concerns about 309. 309 is where the largest number of citations come from, and people are often misinformed about the rules of stopping for buses on undivided highways. I did have a friend who got a ticket last year, I believe it was, and boy, let me tell you, not only did she learn her lesson, she told all of her family, all of her friends. Every time I saw her for a solid month, 3 months, she was telling everybody, you would best not go by a bus when you're on the other side of 309. So I think it is one of the most effective ways to communicate out for the safety of our children. It would be ideal if the buses never had to stop on 309, but just where some of those neighborhoods and some of the residents live, it's just not attainable. So I would really appreciate if we did all of the tickets. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, any other public comment? All righty. Okay.
I'd like to recognize a special guest in the back of the room, a former supervisor, turncoat Borough Councilman Tim Ritter. Good evening, Tim. Happy that you're joined us.
I actually thought we limited the amount of time you can come into Richland Township. Did we have this conversation Saturday? All right. All right, good to see everybody again tonight. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion.